Hello friends, welcome to Via Digital YouTube channel, Microsoft SQL Server tutorial. In this session, I am going to discuss about SQL commands. What is SQL commands? SQL commands is nothing but how we can read or write the data into a tables. In this part, I am going to discuss about what are the types of SQL commands. Mainly, we have five types of SQL commands. One is a DDL, DML, DCL, TCL, and DQL. First, we can discuss about DDL. DDL is nothing but a data definition language. Whenever you are learning the SQL commands, first you can concentration on naming conversions. You can observe here DDL stands for data definition language. Data definition. Definition. When we can define a definition at the earlier stages or start of pointing. Then DDL is nothing but a data definition language. These commands are used for creating, modifying, and dropping. That means deleting the structure of a database or tables. We in this DDL commands we have four types. In this DDL command we have four types. One is create. Create command, when we can create at the starting point, we can create a database, we can create a table, or we can create a views, we can create a temporary tables, we can create a indexes. And coming into the TSQL part, we can create a stored procedures, we can create a user defined functions, and we can create a triggers and cursors. This part we can use create statement. And coming to the alter means simple example. When we can do the alter means changing or modifying. What we have to modify? Example, you can your wish size is 38 and you can buy as 40. A simple example, your shirt size is a large and by unexpectedly you can buy a XL. What you have to do? We can buy and alter the, we can do and alter the shirt. Like we can go to the tailor shop and reduce the shirt size, right? At the same, first we can create a table with some columns. In that columns, if you want to change a data type or alter the column, right, or alter the data type, or if you want to add a new column into an existing table, or if you want to remove unnecessary columns into your table by using drop statement, then truncate. Truncate is nothing but a, we can truncate entire data from a table, but table structure will be available in our database. And a drop, entire table will be dropped from a database. That means it cannot maintain any data, any historical information on the tables in drop statement. All right. In later classes we can go through what is the difference between truncate and a drop. It's very an important interview question. Now we can go one by one with practical. Right, you can observe here create statement is used to create an database objects like tables, temporary tables, views, indexes, stored procedures, your defined functions, and triggers and cursors. How you can create a new database in your server, in your server. Example, simple example you can observe here. You can understand. You can see I have a system. I have a system, right? I have a not required. I have a system. In this system, I have to create a database. I have to create a database. You can observe. In this created database, in the earlier classes, we can discuss about all the database commands will work on based on the syntax or formula oriented language. And the simple, you can observe the syntax. Which syntax we can use to create a database? You can observe create database, database, name. Whenever we are seeing the triangular brackets inside the name, it should be user can define some name here. You can observe here, create database. Example, you can see create a database. It's same, right? Is same for practice is a database name. This practice database I'm going to be create into my server. That means create database name. It's a simple method. It's a simple method. And one more thing you can observe here, I can create a database with some other method. Like I want to define where I can store my master data file or log data file into my machine, where I have to store that files information. What is my database size? How much I want to increase the file growth? That information will be defined by the user. If you can create a first simple method, system will take care of the defining a size, defining where the file is stored. Now you can observe, create a database name on primary name. What is your database name? Like master database file where we have to store. I want to store this information, master data file and log data file, into my E drive under the database folders. And what I have to give in the size? I have to give in the size is 8192 KB, and maximum size unlimited. File growth up to how much file growth I have given? 65,536 KB. This information I can provide it based on the syntax. These the two methods we can create by using SQL queries. By using SQL queries. Another method you can observe, another method we can use to create a database, that means graphical user interface. Directly you can right click on database, then click on new database, then click on new database. It will open the dialog box created window. Now you can provide a database name, then default owner you can provide, and observe here log data file and primary file. Then you can observe here high growth and where I have to store the file. Default it stores the C drive, but when I am creating a database, either user can define a type or file location, uh, or user can system can define the file location. How many methods we can create a database? As of now we can discuss three methods. We can discuss a database. We can discuss to create a database. One is simple syntax, second one is simple complex syntax, and third one is graphical user syntax. Once you can create a database, you can observe here. First you can observe, we can create a database in our server. I have created a database. You can observe a database practice already exists. That means uh, first you can follow the some rules. The database won't be exist in your server. Then only we can create a database. You can observe, I want to change the database name as SQL practice. Okay, then you can observe, then you can observe, I can create execute, I can click on execute or press F5. Then this command will be executed successfully. Now you can observe, you can go to your server and refresh. Then you can observe here under the databases has created. It's a SQL practice database. Right click and observe this. Go to the properties and you can see when the database has created, how much space it will be allocated, what are the auto file growth, what is the owner of this database. All this information will be placed under the database properties. See, okay. Now you can observe what are the file groups, what are the files, and what are the file groups. Like you can observe files, primary and log data file, and all the information will be available in the properties part. Now you can observe. Now another part, create database. We have created database successfully. Then now I'm going to be create a table inside the database. How you can choose the database? Defaultly it's a test database, so I can change which database I am planning to create a table. I am planning to create a table in my SQL practice database. So in this SQL practice database, you can choose at your part. Then SQL practice, this query window will be hit into the SQL practice database. Then how we can create a table? Like you can observe, we can data DBMS, RDMS data will be stored into the table structured format. How we can create a table inside a database? By using create table syntax. Create table, table name. What's your table name? It's employee table, student table, department table, whatever it may be. You can think and create a table. Then column name. In this table, what are the columns you can define? Column name, data type. Data type is nothing but a which format of data you have to create in your column. Like what are the values you can provide that column? That values we can define as a data type. In this data types we have multiple types. We can discuss data types on later session deeply. Data type and required size. How many size of values you can define into the column? Then constraint. What are the rules you can define on a particular column? Rules means a simple example. If you want to give a uh, uh, without duplicate values, I can provide some primary key constraint. I don't want to allow blank values. It's a mandatory field. Example, when we can fill the application form, I can define as a hashtag mark. Some application forms see that hashtag marks. Hashtag mark means it's a mandatory field. How we can do this field as a mandatory field? We can define as a constraint. And data type. We can create up to triple line columns in a particular table. Okay, or maybe version to version will be changed. So you have to check with the online. Okay, and uh, employee table creation with example. Now you can observe I have created a SQL practice database, and now I am planning to create a table. First you can observe create table, table name. What are the columns I am planning to create? Employee ID, employee name, gender, salary, date of joining, department ID. What is the employee ID? Is the representing of numbers or characters or special symbols? It's a number. So our numbers we can call it as here data type as integer. And employee name is a varchar or char. So I don't know employee name, maybe person to persons will be differ, so I can give a varchar. It's nothing but a variable character length. How many characters you have to allowed inside the particular column? I want to allow 50 characters. You can allow up to max, but I can define some characters size. Then gender. Gender you can define as character. It's a fixed length, never change the gender, right? Female or male. Like 6 characters. And salary. Salary, why we can define a money? Why we cannot define an integer? First you can imagine yourself, integer is whole number. That means it's nothing but a you can observe that's nothing but a 1000, right? And salary can be a whole number or maybe a decimal number. In that part we can give it as a money data type. And date of joining, which date he has joined, like date, month, year. On that part we can define as a data type as date. And department ID, it's a integer number. So in this part we can define as a we can define as a we can define as a table name, column names, and data type. Now you can execute this table. You can execute this table. Commands completed successfully. That means this table structure will be created successfully in our practice database. Then you can refresh SQL practice database, go to your database and open the tables, and you can observe here dbo.employee. dbo.employee. This table we are created now. Now you can observe, we can observe this alter statement. Next, we can move into the alter statement. What is alter? Alter is nothing but a modify the existing table structure, add or modify or alter or drop columns and data types. We can observe alter statement. First, we can discuss about the add column. We can add a new column into an existing table. Either at a time we can add a single column or multiple columns by using alter statement. You can observe here in this alter statement syntax, alter table, table name, add new column name. What are the column you are trying to create an existing table? Add column name and the what is the data type for that new column and how much size you are allocated to that column and constraint name. Now you can observe a simple example. I want to create an employee ID column into an existing table. I want to add an employee ID into an existing column. Then alter table, table name. You can observe alter table, table name, add new column name. My new column name is employee ID and data type is n varchar, and I am allocated this size. Then you can observe commands completed successfully. Now you can move into your table. Now you can observe before refresh, you can observe this how many columns you have. uh, it's almost created email ID as well, 250 characters. Now you can observe modify data type. I want to change a data type 252. You can observe in my existing column data type size is email data type size is 250, but I don't want to give a much size on that column, so I want to reduce that column data type size. In that column you can observe alter table employee, alter column. What we are trying to alter, we are trying to alter a column data type. Previously we have 250, now we have 100. Then alter column email ID and varchar 100. Now you can execute this command, highlight this command and execute. Commands completed successfully. Now you can observe here before refreshing it shows 250 size. Then we can refresh it, it shows 100. Can observe 100. That means we can reduce the data type size by using alter command statement. And next one, we can drop an unnecessary column, or we can remove an unnecessary columns from an existing table. You can observe the syntax: alter table, table name, drop column, column name. Now you can observe here, I want to drop an email ID column. Alter table, table name, drop column, column name. Now you can observe commands completed successfully. Now you can observe, you can refresh the employee table. You can refresh the employee table. Then you can go to the columns. You can observe here email ID column will be dropped from existing table. Now you can observe, I want how I can create a more than one column in your existing table. How we can add more than one column in your existing table. You can observe already we have removed the uh, email ID column. Now again I want to add a new column. Now you can observe here two columns I am trying to add at a time. More than one column with separated by comma. So you can observe again, you can refresh the employee table. You can see columns. You can observe here email ID and address will be added again into the existing table. Clear? Now I'm going to how we can rename a column. This column example, in this email ID I'm forget to give an email underscore ID, but my column name is email ID. I want to change email ID into email underscore ID. How we can rename a column into an existing table? We can follow this syntax: sp underscore rename table name dot old column name, from which table you are trying to give a rename of column, then old column name and new column name with column. Then you can observe the example sp underscore rename. I want to change employee email ID column from employee table with email underscore ID. I want to replace or rename this column. Then how we can rename a table? You can observe here, you can execute directly, then it will give you a warning message. That means changing any part of an object name could be break scripts and stored results, because this column maybe we can use for any other references in stored procedures or functions or triggers. But whenever we are changing the existing column name, we have to change all the places with new column name. Then rename a table name. You can observe here syntax sp underscore rename old table name comma new table name. Then you can observe, I want to change employee table to emp table. Just you can imagine sp underscore rename, table will be changed. Again it will give you a warning message. So when now you can observe here what is your table name. Previously we have employee. Now you can observe here we have an see database refresh. Then you can observe, go to the tables. Then you can observe here employee emp table. But now again we have to change emp to employee. emp to employee. Again, you can refresh your database and you can identify what is your present table name. It's nothing but a employee, right? But in real time, be caution, but in real time we cannot use sp underscore rename function to do modification of a table name or column name. Then drop, we can drop an existing table from a database. If I can use the drop table employee, it will remove table from your database. Then truncate, it will remove all the records from existing table, but table structure will be available in a database. Okay, clear? Okay, thank you friends. Please subscribe my channel. We'll meet in next video with DML comments. Thank you very much.